The Mawson's station in Antarctica is the longest continuously operating station south of the Antarctic Circle.
While many people argue the existence of another continent, the universe has some answers to these controversies. From the existence of a lost continent to hidden tunnels stretching through the frozen expanse, these mind-blowing discoveries have the potential to revolutionize our understanding of the world. Join us as we unveil 12 enigmatic revelations in Antarctica that could decode the secrets hidden in our world. Number 12. Ancient Alien, Crystal City under Antarctica. Let's get started with this mind-blowing news about the extraordinary expedition led by the renowned U.S. naval officer and explorer, Admiral Richard Byrd. After World War II, Admiral Byrd was approached with a very difficult proposition. This is such you would probably not dare to accept because it seems like a journey to hell. But what was that? He was asked to organize Operation High Jump, the largest expedition ever to venture into the inexplicable continent of Antarctica. Can you believe it? And who would agree to stake such height? 13 ships, 23 aircraft, and over 4,700 military personnel were part of this colossal endeavor. Just before you could think of anything, Admiral Byrd and his team embarked on this mission. Their official goal was to explore potential military bases in Antarctica. However, during their exploration, something utterly unexpected unfolded. While they ventured deeper into the icy unknown, Admiral Byrd stumbled upon something so astonishing that it rattled even the bravest of souls. And you won't believe that this came from his secret diary, a hidden account suppressed by government authorities who found it truly scary. According to his diary, Admiral Byrd heard whispers of an entrance to the center of the Earth right through the South Pole. With sheer audacity, he took his planes beneath the icy surface, flying under the Earth itself. But what he couldn't explain was what he witnessed there defying all logic and reason. As his squadron soared over the pole, the freezing temperatures gave way to a lush, green paradise. Admiral Byrd couldn't believe his eyes, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. In the midst of this breathtaking scenery, a shimmering rainbow city made entirely of crystal surfaced before Admiral Byrd's very eyes. But wait, it gets even more exhilarating. Suddenly, Admiral Byrd's control over his plane was seized as mysterious, disc-shaped objects appeared around him. These otherworldly crafts guided him to the ground, where he found himself in a vast, cavernous space. And there, he encountered a being, an entity he referred to as the Master in his diary. This extraordinary being expressed profound disappointment in humanity's destructive nature, particularly our use of nuclear weapons. It seems they were genuinely concerned about the path we were headed down. Admiral Byrd's account aligns with countless reports of angelic or extraterrestrial beings expressing concern about our nuclear weapons. Even Air Force officers stationed at nuclear missile silos have witnessed their weapons being disarmed by what they believe to be extraterrestrial beings. Suddenly, Admiral Byrd was ordered to keep this mind-bending encounter top secret. His story, hidden away for years, remained classified. Could Admiral Byrd's secret diary reveal the existence of highly advanced beings dwelling within the Earth's core? Are they silently observing our actions on the surface? And if so, what does this mean for our future? Ancient astronaut theorists firmly believe that Admiral Byrd's account points to a profound connection between ancient traditions of subterranean beings and the modern-day UFO phenomenon. And they speculate that we might find ourselves face-to-face with the beings of inner Earth sooner than we think. Number 11. Lost wallet for 53 found. You won't believe how this man recovered his wallet from another continent. That's crazy, right? In the year 1968, Paul Grisham, a young meteorologist with the Navy, bid farewell to the frigid landscapes of Antarctica after spending 13 long months at one of the most remote stations on Earth. Little did he know that he left something behind, a wallet that would remain hidden for 53 years. Fast forward to the present day, and Paul Grisham, who was then 91 years old in 2021 and residing in San Diego, received an astonishing phone call on January 27th. A stranger named Bruce McKee from Indiana reached out to him with an unbelievable message. "Paul, I think I found your wallet." Grisham was left speechless, unable to comprehend the odds of such an unexpected encounter. He couldn't even recall losing his wallet, which made the reunion even more mind-boggling. The wallet had been discovered behind a locker at McMurdo Station on Ross Island during demolition work in 2014. Passed from hand to hand, it eventually ended up in the possession of McKee, who decided to track down its rightful owner. Bruce McKee, founder and director of Indiana Spirit of 45, an organization honoring veterans, eagerly took on the task. With Grisham's name sourced from a Naval Weather Service blog, McKee made a series of calls that led him to the realization that Grisham was not only alive, but also residing in San Diego. Imagine the emotions that rushed through Grisham and his wife, Carol Salazar, as they received the package containing the faded brown leather billfold on January 30th, 2021. With bated breath, they unwrapped it, revealing a treasure trove of memories: a driver's license, Navy ID card, a beer ration punch card, a tax statement, an atomic attack instruction card, a homemade Kahlua recipe, and 2 money order receipts from Grisham's victorious poker games at the base. The wallet was remarkably well preserved, a time capsule from a bygone era. Grisham, a weather technician turned lieutenant, vividly recalled his time in Antarctica during Operation Deep Freeze. Despite initially being reluctant to leave his wife and children behind, he found himself stationed in the warmest part of Antarctica, known as the Banana Belt. The temperature would occasionally rise to a balmy 25 degrees during the summer months. Yet, the freezing temperatures, isolation, and occasional loneliness left an indelible mark on his memory. With only weekly shortwave radio calls connecting him to the outside world, Grisham and his fellow men faced the bitter cold and sought solace in activities like bowling tournaments and poker games. Grisham found himself becoming an expert poker player, sending his winnings back home to his wife, Wilma. After leaving Antarctica, Grisham continued his service in the Navy, witnessing historic events like the fall of Saigon during the Vietnam War before he finally retired. And so, people were astonished and shared their concerns on social media handles. For McKee, this story also highlighted the importance of honoring our veterans and the sacrifices they have made. Number 10. The mysterious blood falls. The blood falls in Antarctica's McMurdo Dry Valleys are intriguing. They might sound and look pretty scary, but they're not actually made of blood. What are they, you ask? The falls are a flow of brine that's rich in iron. Scientists have been studying the falls since they were first discovered in the year 1911. They used radar to figure out where the red color came from. Wow. It turns out that there are subglacial rivers and a lake under the Taylor Glacier. The water in these rivers and the lake has a lot of iron, which gives the falls their red color. Now, you might wonder how the water doesn't freeze in such a cold place. Well, it's because the water is really salty. Salt water freezes at a lower temperature than regular water, and when it freezes, it releases heat. This heat keeps the ice melted and allows the rivers to keep flowing. It's pretty cool, isn't it? The scientists also found out that the brine content gets higher as you get closer to the falls. There are cracks in the glacier that let the brine in. When the brine freezes, it warms up the ice around it and makes the cracks even more concentrated with brine. The brine comes from a lake under the Taylor Glacier, which gets its iron from the rocks below. One more interesting thing about the blood fall is the microbes that live there. These tiny organisms can survive in extremely extreme conditions. They use the sulfates in the water to get energy, just like we use food to get energy. They're kind of like a glimpse into what life might have been like on Earth a long time ago. Visiting the blood falls is not easy because it's in a remote place and the weather is tough. Only scientists and researchers are allowed to go there, and they need special permission. If you want to visit, you would have to plan way ahead, get permission, and arrange transportation from McMurdo Station. So, even though the blood falls might sound a bit creepy, they're a super interesting natural wonder with a lot of scientific significance. Number 9. The world's biggest icefish colony. Researchers exploring the seabed in Antarctica made an unexpected and exciting discovery: a thriving colony of icefish that is larger than the previous largest colony, which had only 60 nests. You won't believe that the size of this colony is 1/3 the size of London. This colony contains around 60 million active nests and was found during routine data collection in Antarctica's southern Weddell Sea. The discovery was made using an ocean floor observation and bathymetry system, a camera device that records photos, videos, and measurements of deep-sea habitats. Initially, the researchers were interested in the area because of a phenomenon called upwelling, where cold water is brought to the surface by winds and currents, resulting in the water being 2 degrees Celsius warmer than the surrounding area. One of the theories put forward is that the icefish may use this warmer water as a navigational tool to track the colony. They seek out this warmer water when it's time to reproduce. The colony stretches across more than 150 miles, equivalent to 240 kilometers of the seabed, indicating that it has a significant influence on the entire Weddell Sea ecosystem. The presence of such a large icefish colony suggests that other marine animals, such as seals, may be feeding on them. If the fish nests were to disappear, it could potentially impact the seals and have a cascading effect on the Weddell Sea ecosystem and possibly other parts of the Antarctic waters. This discovery highlights that there is still much to learn about deep-sea ecosystems and how they function. It challenges the notion that the deep sea is a barren wasteland and demonstrates the abundance of life that exists there. They also returned to the region in April 2022 to study the surrounding waters and observe whether the fish breed again in the same nests. The researchers plan to monitor the ecosystem with cameras for the next 2 years to gain a better understanding of its workings and interactions with other ecosystems. Number 8. The Factoran Deep. Where is the deepest part of the Earth? Did you know that there's a new record for the deepest point on Earth? It's called the Factoran Deep, and it's located in the frigid southern ocean of Antarctica. This incredible discovery was made in 2019 by an intrepid American explorer and entrepreneur named Victor Vescovo. The Factoran Deep reaches an astounding depth of 24,400 feet below sea level. That's like stacking 17 Empire State Buildings on top of each other. Can you imagine? The more mind-blowing part of the whole stuff is that this part of the ocean wasn't mapped until recently. The mapping of the Factoran Deep and the surrounding Southern Ocean was made possible by the International Bathymetric Chart of the Southern Ocean, which started charting the region back in 2013, a spark off to the goal of the Nippon Foundation JEBCO Seabed 2030 project, which aims to map the entire global seafloor by 2030. While the Factoran Deep is the deepest point on Earth's continents, the overall deepest point on Earth is still the Mariana Trench in the western Pacific Ocean. It reaches a mind-boggling depth of 10.9 kilometers. But here's the catch. Geologically speaking, the Mariana Trench is part of the oceanic crust and not the continental crust. So when it comes to the greatest terrestrial depth we've reached, the Factoran Deep takes the crown. All in all, these recent discoveries and mapping efforts are shedding light on the hidden wonders of our planet's oceans. They're helping us uncover undersea mountains, canyons, and plateaus that had never been seen before. It's an exciting time for exploration and scientific discovery, and who knows what else we'll uncover as we continue to delve deeper into the mysteries of our world's oceans. So, next time you're passing through the Southern Ocean, remember to turn on your sonar and be a part of this incredible mission to map the global seafloor. You'll be shocked at your discovery. Number 7. The water phytoplankton. The wonders of the Antarctic never cease to amaze us. It turns out that there's a hidden secret thriving beneath the icy waters of Antarctica. Can you believe that there are creatures so small and elusive that scientists didn't even notice their existence until recently? It's like a whole world of microscopic life that was quietly going about its business, unnoticed by our curious eyes. You see, not too long ago, scientists believed that the thick ice cover in the Antarctic waters made it impossible for phytoplankton to survive. The limited sunlight penetration was thought to hinder their growth for most of the year. But boy, were they wrong. Recent discoveries have shattered those beliefs and revealed a different story. Thanks to underwater instruments and NASA's IAT-2 satellite, we now know that the Antarctic sea ice is not the impenetrable fortress we once thought it was. In fact, it's full of fractures and openings that allow enough sunlight to slip through. And guess what? That's all it takes for phytoplankton to flourish. Phytoplankton are these fascinating microscopic plant-like organisms that play a crucial role in the ocean ecosystem. They perform photosynthesis, just like plants on land, absorbing sunlight and nutrients to create energy. They're like the grasses of the ocean, sustaining a whole web of life. Now, if phytoplankton can thrive in these cold Antarctic waters, who knows what other life forms are quietly flourishing there? This goes a long way to prove the resilience and adaptability of nature, and also reminds us that there is still so much more to discover and understand about the intricate workings of our planet's ecosystems. So the next time you gaze out at the icy expanse of Antarctica, know that beneath the surface lies a thriving world of tiny organisms, silently transforming sunlight and nutrients into energy. It's a reminder that even in the harshest and most remote places on Earth, life finds a way to flourish. Number 6. Wood-eating termites. Do you think we could call these creatures the sea termites? Honestly, nature has a way of surprising us, doesn't it? In the frosty, treeless terrain of Antarctica, where you would least expect it, a remarkable discovery was made. Wood-eating fungi were found feasting on historical relics from the era of polar exploration. It's quite astonishing to think about these fungi thriving in a place where there haven't been any trees for millions of years. These organisms have a unique ability to survive solely on the wood left behind by researchers from over a century ago. They have taken up residence in the wooden huts built by legendary explorers like Ernest Shackleton and Robert Scott, slowly degrading these historical structures. Wood-eating fungi, as the name suggests, rely on wood as their source of sustenance. They break down the complex carbohydrates present in the wood, using enzymes to convert them into simpler compounds that they can absorb and utilize for their growth and survival. It's a fascinating example of nature's ability to adapt and find nourishment even in unexpected places. The fact that wood-decaying fungi have managed to establish themselves in Antarctica, despite the absence of trees, highlights the resilience and resourcefulness of life. It serves as a reminder that nature's mechanisms are diverse and often defy our expectations. Even in the harshest and seemingly inhospitable environments, organisms can find a way to thrive and fulfill their ecological roles. So, the next time you see termites reducing your furniture to ordinary sawdust, just remember the wood-eating fungi of Antarctica and how they replicate the same process in the world beyond. Now, it's time for today's subscriber pick. This Ross ice shelf is a massive floating body of ice located on the southern edge of Antarctica, concealing a fascinating subterranean habitat. Researchers ventured into the icy depths by drilling down an impressive 1,040 feet. Their efforts were rewarded when a camera lowered into the newly created cavern revealed the coldest, driest, and iciest settlement ever discovered on Earth. The researchers were utterly left in shock to find life forms thriving in such an extreme and remote environment. They described their reaction as akin to jumping up and down for joy. This ecosystem raised intriguing questions about what other astounding and bizarre creatures may have evolved in hidden corners of the world without human awareness. It's so shocking, but then it goes to point out the vastness of Earth's biodiversity and the continuous potential for surprise and discovery, even in the most extreme and isolated environments. What if you find out that there's more to Antarctica that will leave you in goosebumps all day, especially this small archaeological site in Antarctica that could rewrite human history? Every secret is revealed in this video. Now we need you to join others and engage in some discussions. Share your thoughts in the comments on what you think about these findings. Do you think there's more to Antarctica than meets the eye? Number 5. Meteorites in Antarctica. It's a fascinating fact that more meteorites have been discovered in Antarctica than on all other continents combined. But it's not because there's some mysterious force specifically attracting meteorites to this icy continent. The distribution of meteorites on Earth is actually quite even. So, why are there so many meteorites found in Antarctica? Well, it all comes down to certain unique conditions that make Antarctica an ideal place for preserving meteorites. Meteorites can fall anywhere on Earth, as they are remnants of the formation of our solar system. However, in Antarctica, the chances of finding and preserving meteorites are higher. One reason is that Antarctica is mainly devoid of terrestrial rocks. Unlike other continents, where the landscape is dominated by rocks of various types, Antarctica's surface is mostly covered in ice and snow. This makes any extraterrestrial visitors, such as meteorites, stand out more prominently against the stark white backdrop. Also, the cold and dry climate of Antarctica helps preserve meteorites. The icy conditions slow down the process of weathering and erosion, which can quickly degrade meteorites in other environments. As a result, meteorites that fall on the Antarctic ice fields can remain relatively well preserved for thousands or even millions of years. Scientists and researchers often embark on expeditions to search for meteorites in Antarctica. They use various methods, including satellite imagery, to guide them to potential locations. In December 2022, one such expedition managed to uncover one of the heaviest meteorites ever found in Antarctica, weighing 16.8 pounds, which is approximately 7.6 kilograms. However, it's important to note that the weight of a meteorite is not the most significant factor. What truly matters is the valuable information these extraterrestrial rocks provide about the formation and history of our universe. Who knows? Perhaps one of the many meteorites discovered in the South Pole holds a groundbreaking secret that could challenge our current understanding of space and the cosmos. Each meteorite is a piece of the puzzle, offering insights into the vast mysteries of the universe and our place within it. The search for meteorites in Antarctica Antarctica continues as scientists hope to uncover more clues that will expand our knowledge of the cosmos. Number 4. Crashed UFO in Antarctica. Ah, the wonders of the unknown and the fascination with UFOs. Did you know that recently there has been some buzz on the internet and among conspiracy theorists about a peculiar feature on Google Maps in Antarctica? At certain coordinates, there appears to be what some people believe to be a crashed UFO buried in the snow. According to reports, this feature measures approximately 65 feet wide and 230 feet long, and it stands out as a distinct indentation in the snow with no other tracks around it. Naturally, this has fueled speculation about its extraterrestrial origins. The discovery was initially made by a Russian UFO enthusiast named Valentine DCTV, who described it as a classically shaped UFO. Now, it's important to approach this with skepticism and critical thinking. While it's true that Antarctica is a place of mysterious allure and that there is an abundance of meteorites found there, attributing this particular feature to an alien spacecraft is purely speculative. The scientific community has not provided any solid evidence to support such claims. In reality, what might appear as a crashed UFO could very well be a crevasse, a common crack in the ice that forms due to the differential movement of ice sheets. Crevasses can be quite large and impressive, adding to the mystery and fascination surrounding these formations. It's not uncommon for unusual features or shapes to capture our imagination and lead to various interpretations. However, it's important to rely on scientific evidence and critical analysis when examining such phenomena. Without concrete evidence, it's difficult to draw definitive conclusions about the nature of this feature in Antarctica. So, while the idea of a buried UFO in Antarctica may be intriguing, it's essential to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism and to rely on scientific investigation to uncover the truth behind these mysterious formations. Number 3. The mysterious mountains. The Gamburtsev subglacial mountains in Antarctica are among the most mysterious geological features on Earth. They were discovered in 1958, buried under a staggering 19,842 feet of ice. Despite their hidden nature, these mountains are as grand as the European Alps. The Gamburtsevs took about 1 billion years to form as a result of continental drift, with two plates pushing together to create the supercontinent of Rodinia. Over time, erosion wore away this early range, leaving behind only a deep, cold root visible in seismic images today. Between 250 and 100 million years ago, at the time when dinosaurs ruled the Earth's crust shifted again, resulting in the formation of the East Antarctic Rift System. This geological activity gave rise to the Gamburtsev Mountains once more. Glaciers and rivers then carved deep valleys, lifting the peaks into a breathtaking landscape comparable to the Alps. Around 34 million years ago, the East Antarctic ice sheet formed, covering an area as large as Canada. This massive ice sheet has since protected the Gamburtsev Mountains, preserving them beneath its icy surface. As a result, there is still much to learn about these hidden features. For decades, the origins of the Gamburtsev Mountains remained a geological puzzle due to their remote location and the lack of direct access to physical rock samples. However, a new study has shed light on their formation and provided insights into mountain-building processes. The thick crustal root and high topography of the Gamburtsevs make them unique and least understood tectonic features on Earth. While the Gamburtsevs remain hidden from view, scientists have relied on indirect evidence to study them. This includes studying outcrops exposed to the north of the mountains, analyzing detrital zircons retrieved from ice cores, and conducting seismic measurements. These studies have revealed that the Gamburtsevs have a crustal thickness of 45 to 60 kilometers, compared to the average crustal thickness of about 35 to 40 kilometers in other parts of East Antarctica. The ongoing exploration and research of the Gamburtsev Mountains provide valuable insights into the geological history and processes of Antarctica. By unraveling the mysteries of these hidden mountains, scientists can enhance our understanding of Earth's dynamic geological processes and the unique environments that exist beneath the Antarctic ice. Number 2. Fossilized worm cocoon. Did you know that one of the oldest worms found on Earth was discovered in Antarctica? Well, it's not exactly a live worm, but a fossilized cocoon of a worm that lived a whopping 50 million years ago. This small archaeological site in Antarctica could rewrite human history. But here's the surprising part. Inside that ancient casing, scientists found the world's oldest known animal sperm. Researchers were actually looking for small animal remains when they accidentally stumbled upon this fossil while examining rock samples from Antarctica. They noticed these fossilized worm cocoons, and upon closer inspection using a fancy electron microscope, they found loads of trapped sperm cells inside them. What's fascinating is that worms, being all soft tissue, are usually not well preserved in the fossil record. But these worms had these strong egg cases that could withstand the test of time and fossilization. By comparing the fossilized sperm with the sperm of worms today, the research team figured out that they belong to a group of animals that includes earthworms and leeches. Specifically, the fossil sperm looked a lot like the sperm of modern crayfish worms, which are these little leech-like creatures that hang out on crayfish shells and munch on decaying stuff. Here's something interesting. Modern crayfish worms are mostly found in the northern hemisphere, but if the identification is correct, it suggests that this animal group had a much wider distribution 50 million years ago than it does now. That's a pretty cool discovery, breaking the record for the oldest known animal sperm by a whopping 10 million years. Number 1. Bizarre tunnels. In a recent discovery, scientists found tunnels that are almost as tall as the Eiffel Tower. These impressive tunnels were found under the Filchner-Ronne ice shelf in West Antarctica and measure a staggering 820 feet in height. Researchers from UK universities and the British Antarctic Survey flew over the continent's ice shelf and made this remarkable find. They observed that these enormous channels were formed by meltwater flowing beneath the ice, moving over the land, and eventually into the ocean. This discovery challenges the previous belief that meltwater spreads under ice sheets in thin, continuous layers. Instead, it appears that the water moves in focused channels, similar to rivers hidden beneath the ice. This newfound knowledge of the under-ice tunnels will be crucial in understanding how the ice shelf will respond to climate change. By studying these channels, scientists can make predictions about how the ice will melt and contribute to rising sea levels. The research has been published in the journal Nature Geoscience, furthering our understanding of Antarctica's unique environment. Just imagine, these tunnels are nearly as tall as the Eiffel Tower. It goes to show that there is still so much to learn about our world, especially the mysterious depths beneath the Antarctic ice. We can only wonder what other secrets these hidden tunnels hold, and I'm excited to see what future research will unveil. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.